Welcome back. My name is Kristin and I'm the Shoebox OT. For today's shoebox treatment idea, today I have beanbag animals. What I tried to do is get animals that represented every letter of the alphabet. So you have rabbit, bear for the B, D for a duck. So I tried to get the whole alphabet so that I can have a little bit more variety in what I'm asking the kids to do, and also I can grade it a little bit differently. So in this box of animals lives a snowballer. If you live where it snows, you can get these in the stores in winter. If you don't live where it snows, you can actually order this online. I like this activity for a great bilateral integration activity. And again, bilateral integration is an important way to maybe start your session after you've done some of that sensory prep work, and it helps with making more neural connections between the two hemispheres of the brain, which is going to help with overall processing. And that helps everybody out, the speech therapists, the PTs, the OTs, and it's going to help that kiddo have faster neural connections for learning and for processing. So that's why I'm a big fan of bilateral integration activities, and again, linking up those two hemispheres in the brain. Now you can do this a number of ways. You can set them up in kind of a semicircle around the kiddo, so then they have to pick up, put in, pick up, put in, and go around, and they're rotating and doing some rotation as they're picking up the animals. This in itself, using your two hands, is a little bit of a tricky bilateral integration activity for some kids, because what you have to do is you have to pick it up, okay? So this lead hand, if I'm rotating, this lead hand and this back hand have to have equal pressure together to keep it closed. If you forget about one hand and you're just going with this hand, they end up dropping the animal. So that can be a little bit tricky for some kiddos to catch on to, that they need to work both hands together, especially as we're rotating. A little bit easier when we're working in straight planes to put in. So you can grade it different ways that way. You can also grade this activity by taking all the animals and kind of throwing them out in maybe a multi-sensory environment where maybe there's another therapist and kiddo working, or maybe it's your sensory gym where there's a lot going on. So now you're working on some of their auditory processing, their auditory attention, and their ability to stay focused and remember what you asked them to go get. So I'll just kind of throw them out and be like, oh my goodness, they all escaped, the animals escaped from the zoo. And then I can either have them, depending on where they're at and what level we're trying to achieve of attention, I can have them just go and get whatever ones they want, which is a little bit easier. Or I can say, okay, I want you to go get the chameleon, or I want you to go get now the butterfly. Or you can say, okay, go get the frog first, then the butterfly. So now they have to remember those two steps. And then again, you can also make it a little bit more challenging by having them do the alphabet. So you can either write the alphabet on a dry erase board, and they have to go in alphabetical order. So that shows them the alphabetical order for the ABCs, and then they cross them off as they're going through. So again, now you're kind of working on a little bit of fine motor. We're crossing off the A. It also helps keeps them organized through that task. You can also have them just go out and get them without that whiteboard, so they have to remember what letter they're on, the order of the alphabet, so you can kind of make it a little bit more difficult. So I find that the kids really enjoy this bucket, this task, and again, there's so many different ways that you can modify and adapt this activity to fit whatever child you're working for. So don't forget those bilateral integration activities and how important they can be for processing. And it's a good way to warm up for maybe some of those sit-down fine motor activities. Again, I'm Kristin. I'm the Shoebox OT. Thanks for joining in, and I hope you enjoyed today's treatment box idea. Thank you.